Yo, top of the morning, man. Today is November the 26th. We got you know what? Hold on. Let's change this up. I actually don't want to hear that. We got what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got only five cup games on for today. So we're gonna jump right into it for today, man, as we always do. Yesterday I went official on 3 plays. I went 2 and 1 yesterday, so it was another good day in the NBA for myself. Hopefully you guys made some cash as well. We cashed on what did we have? We had OKC was the best bet on the show yesterday. That was a winner. Ended up getting there with Detroit plus the point, with Toronto plus the points plus the 4.5. That was also a winner. Almost won the game outright. Jay Navi said no, we'll win this game. Hit the game winner last night, and the only loss that I had ended up being a live play, which was the under between the Knicks and the Denver Nuggets. I just thought that the game would slow down a little bit. Denver would fight their way back into it. The Knicks offense looked great last night. They ended up scoring 30 points at every single quarter. OG Anunoby goes off for a 40 ball last night. Jalen Brunson can't be stopped. Karl Anthony Towns has 30. And that was the only loser that we had. So we've actually been doing pretty well over the last few games. Over the last few days, I've been trying to simplify it as much as possible and play only the plays that I absolutely love, because there's a lot of variance in the NBA right now. Tons of variance, but neither here nor there. Let's jump into it for today. I'll go through a couple of the comments and we'll jump into it. A bunch of comments in here. What up, 5-star? What up, JM says, good morning, all. Mark in here. GLB Bets in here. GLB Bets been cashing, man. I know he put that under in the chat yesterday between Portland and who was it? Portland and Memphis last night. That was an easy winner last night. Under 232, I think, is what the total got up to. I didn't end up playing it, but yeah. GM says Chargers plus 6.5 loss. So jaXon was actually, I was looking at jaXon yesterday. jaXon was actually on Baltimore in the over. So jaXon went 2-0 in that game last night. What up, Hawkins? He says Denver sucks. Dropping Dime says morning, Chris and crew. Blazers team total under might be a wagon. Dropping Dimes also put that in the Discord yesterday. Under 109.5, I think was the number. Easy winner. Shout out to the guys, man, doing some good work. Pelicans team total over at Merrill likes. Me and Ski talked that one out on his show yesterday. And they covered the number. I think they lost by 4. Ended up getting 8, I think, with Brandon Ingram being rolled out. So yeah, a bunch of winners. What up to my guy Justin in the chat? Tasha in here as well. What up, AB? Yeah, a lot of people sound like they made a few dollars last night, man. I love to hear that. What up, Fear Elite? Let's jump into it for today. It should be a little bit of a quicker show. What up, Val? He says, good morning, Chris. I pivoted off Robert Williams the third and cashed on KP, and he took Isaiah Hartenstein 10 plus points and his 15-point line. Hope you got some cash last night, man. OKC seemed like the square play until it cashes, and then people are like, damn, I should have bet OKC last night. That's how it be, though, man. That's how it be. What up, PZ? Tariq says, good morning, Chris. Catching your show for a bit at work. Warriors upset a lot of people yesterday. I stayed off. Orlando, OKC, and Mavs cash for me. Talked about not being able to get there with Atlanta, man. I can't play Atlanta as a favorite. Shout out to Justin, because Justin said the same thing. We both were on the same wavelength with that game. I know Mavs were coming off overtime game. Can't lay money with Atlanta, though. Not they're laying points. Let's jump into it for today. Check jaXon out if you guys have not. They offer real-time access to news, betting lines, player and team statistics, player prop information, and game schedules. They can analyze historical performances and deliver valuable insight into your betting opportunities, including plus EV picks, arbitrage opportunities, fantasy projections. jaXon does it all, man. It's a really great way if you are somebody like myself that at the end of the day, you're like, man, I want to turn my brain off, but it's a couple games on. I suggest you guys just tap into jaXon. jaXon can look up all the stuff for you, give you, kind of, and it don't matter which side you want. Like, you can literally ask jaXon for last night's game. I could have literally asked jaXon, what are the valuable points to want to take the points with the Chargers last night, and jaXon would have had a whole write-up on it. Then I can also ask the opposite thing. What's the valuable points in taking Baltimore? So check jaXon out if you guys have not. There's a 50% promo code in the description of the video if you guys are interested. ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's. let's jump into it for today. First game we got up is the Chicago Bulls and the Washington Wizards. This total was at 240 yesterday when I started handicapping the game about 5 o'clock yesterday evening. And the spread was at 4.5, which is where it is right now. The total has, of course, moved up. You guys see it all the way up to, this is up to 244, which is what you guys see on the screen right now. And warranted, right? These are not two great defensive teams by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see real quick. Okay. These are not two great defensive teams by any stretch of the imagination. We got the Bulls. They are slightly more rested. 2 days rest here. First game of a 2-game road trip. First leg of a back-to-back with the Orlando Magic on deck tomorrow. That is a conference game tomorrow. And then on the Washington Wizards side, 1 day's rest. First leg of a back-to-back. They got the Clippers coming to town tomorrow. They've lost at least 10 straight games in a row, but they did get a cover against the they got a cover and a push. They got a cover against the Celtics, and they got a push against the Indiana Pacers, depending on where you got that number at. Injury report, you got Patrick Williams still listed as out. Phillips is listed as probable on the Bulls side. And then on the Washington Wizards side, you got Jordan Poole listed as questionable. He did not play in that game in Indiana the other day. And that holds me up in this game. If I was going to play, this is not my favorite game on the board at all. But I think if you want the Wizards, you do want Jordan Poole. I'm not into laying points with the Bulls. They've been a favorite one time this season. That was against the Jazz. They got smoked in that game. Lost by I think 10, 11 points. Gave up 135 points to the Utah Jazz, and they were at home in that game. So, like I said, they do have a slight rest advantage here. They have won 7 of the last 10 head-to-head matchups, 3 of the last 4, and they've covered 3 of the last 4 against the Wizards. This is, group play, but I'm not sure if neither one of these teams are winning any kind of group at all. So I don't feel super strong about this game. I will tell you guys from over on moneyballer.com, I was looking at it this morning. The Wizards, for whatever reason, are 7-0 to the under in the first half on their team total when they're a home dog this season. So I guess that's a way you could look. I'm not really into trusting the Bulls. But I guess that's the way that I would look if I had to play anything else, just riding with the trend. The best number that you can get for the Wizards first half team total is 59.5 if you are interested in wanting to take an over there. So I'm sorry, an under on the Wizards first half team total. I guess that would probably be the way that I'm looking at this game. These are 2 bottom 10 defenses, top 10 teams as far as pace goes. And I'm not interested in this game, if I'm being honest with you guys. I can see points being scored, maybe some Zach LaVine numbers. He probably plays well in this game. It's not anything that I want to put my hard-earned money on betting the Bulls or the Wizards, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. Let's see. Pretty quick on that one. HB says, do you think that Chicago can score 125 points? I don't know why they can't. We're talking about the Wizards defense. It's not anything that I put my money on, but if I'm looking at, I'm not really into totals once they get above 120. I see too many times, just betting sports in general, too many times where a team just kind of runs out of gas late. Like I said, this first leg of a back-to-back, the Wizards are giving up an average of 123 points per game. But the last 2 games, I'll say this, the Wizards have given up 115 to the Pacers and 108 to the Celtics. So defensively, they've been a little bit better. 2 straight unders. 3 of their last 4 games have actually gone under. We know that they're not the greatest offense. They scored 103 against the Pacers and only 96 against the Celtics, only 106 against the Knicks and 104 against the Pistons. It's just the Bulls defense. The Bulls have given up 140 points 3 times already this season. That's not something that I want to put my money on, because if a team go get hot, it probably going to be against the Bulls. The Bulls are giving up an average of 124 points per game, and they've given up 142, 122, and 122 in their last 3 games versus the Bucks, the Hawks, and the Grizzlies. So, man, y'all do what y'all want to do with this game. I'm not touching it. Probably not going to touch it. Let's see what else y'all saying in the chat. What up, Zachariah? Appreciate you for tapping it. LJ says OKC, great money last night. Yeah, shout out to OKC Thunder buddies. Oh, I needed that last night. Helper Hand says trade for double was a lock last night. G421 says yo, the Joker newborn bounce back is over. I think Joker content with being a dad now. Yeah, I mean that's his second. He already had a daughter. Drop a Dime says, I low-key like the Bulls here. Best of luck, driving dives, if you get there with the Bulls, man. Merrill says he'd take the over. What up, Charles? Merrill also says Vucevic over his 19.5 points. I could see him having a pretty good game against Sar, pulling Sar away from the paint. I could see that. What up, Jose? Vooch over his 19.5 or 1.5 threes are always my looks for the Bulls. Yeah, the 3-point prop for Vucevic makes a lot of sense. Let's see what that number is real quick, because this has been something that's been cashing. Nikola Vucevic. Over 1.5 threes, minus 111 on FanDuel. I'm gonna write that down. I don't know if I'm gonna get there, but over 1.5 threes, minus 111 right now on FanDuel is the best number based on my iScreen over here on OddsJam. What up, Bryant? Says he's on H-Town today, his only play. We're gonna get to that game in a second. Charles says agree. Vooch could go crazy. What's up, Killian? Good morning to you, fams. SK says Vucevic 2+ threes, minus 115. You can get a minus 111 on FanDuel right now. Everybody else got this juice. This juice minus 125 on ESPN Bet, DraftKings, Caesars. BetMGM got minus 120. That's why you get OddsJam, so you can get the best of the number every single time. All right, enough of this game. Let's go to the next game. We got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. Game will be played in Miami today. This line opened with the Miami Heat laying 3.5. Laying 2.5. The numbers come down a little bit. I actually thought that Miami would take some money. I think I saw this up to 3, but it's come down. The total has actually moved up. This was 222.5 yesterday. Now the total is 222.5. It's up to 223.5 now. So you got a Bucks team coming off 2 days rest. This is a standalone home game for them. They got after 4 straight home games, and they'll go back home after this game. On the Miami Heat side, 1 day's rest. They're coming off overtime win against the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday. They've actually won 2 straight. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Charlotte Hornets on deck tomorrow. And injury report on the Bucks side of things, you got Taurean Prince listed as questionable. He's dealing with an illness. And on the opposite side, I think for Miami, they should have everybody. Rozier is listed as probable. He's missed the last few games. So spot play here tells me to take the Bucks, and that's what I really want to do. I really want to take the Bucks here. Milwaukee, it's a Milwaukee spot in my opinion. They have 1 more day rest. I talked about that. They haven't played since Saturday, whereas the Heat played on Sunday. And then after the game, they got 3 extra days rest in this spot. The Heat play tomorrow. Like I said, this is the first leg of a back-to-back for them with Charlotte coming to town. The Bucks don't play again for a super long time. So when you look at that trend specifically, when I look at road dogs with more rest before and after the game, since 2021, they don't cover a lot. It's only about 51%. So it's not too significant. This season, though, they're 3-0 against the numbers so far. You also got to remember this is a group play, right? This is the cup play. Milwaukee is undefeated in cup play. They're 2-0 in cup play so far, whereas the Miami Heat, I think, are 1-1, I think is what it is. So, I mean, that tells me that the Bucks are taking these cup games serious and they probably want to win. They were trying to win last year, and then that's when Holly hit the Dame time on them. So, I think the Bucks, I think the Bucks are the right side. The problem is when I started to look into the trends, I don't like the Bucks as much based on the trends. When you look at the Bucks as short road dogs with 2 possessions or less, going back to last season and including this season, they're just 1-6 straight up, 2-5 against the number since the beginning of last season. If they're getting 5 points or less on the road, and they're 6-1 in that spot, 6-1 to the under in that spot as well. So this could be an under game. As 3-point dogs, so when you narrow it down from 5 to 3, they're 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread, 3-0 to the under. So for whatever reason, when they're short road dogs, they can't score the basketball. The Heat have been playing, I guess, some middle of the pack type defense, in my opinion. On the opposite side, when I look at the Heat, they've actually been slightly profitable as a short home favorite. They're 10-4 straight up and 8-5-1 against the number. So covering about 62% of the time since the beginning of last season, same time frame. They're also 7-2 straight up, 6-2-1 against the number if they're a short home favorite in conference games. So I as much as I want to play the Bucks because the spot says this is Bucks, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this game, man. I do kind of feel like the Bucks want this one. The Heat have been playing a little bit better. They got a big win against Dallas. They beat the team from Philadelphia a couple days before that. So they're on a nice little 2-game win streak. And I typically want to fade the Bucks. I typically want to fade the Heat as a home favorite, but with a short number like this, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do so, man. It's a really difficult game for me, if I'm being honest. I really want to take the under. Like, that's what I really want to do. I think the Bucks defense, don't look now, but defensively, the Bucks have been playing a little bit better recently. I think they're a top 10 defensive rated team over the last 5 games. Of course, their last 5 games have all come at home. Let me just look at the numbers real quick. So Bucks defensively are 12th last 5 games, 8th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They don't force a lot of turnovers. They are giving up a few too many offensive rebounds, in my opinion. But they're defending the 3-point line really, really well. Interesting. Excuse me. Yeah, they're defending the 3-point line really, really well. Number 2, 3-point defense overall, holding teams to about 31%. Number 1 and above the break 3 defense. And that's what Miami does a lot of. They're actually shooting the best percentage from the 3-point line over the last 5 games out of Miami Heat. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this game, man. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it, if I'm being honest. Let's see what you guys are thinking in this one. I'm probably gonna ponder on this one all day, if I'm being honest. Let's go through a couple of the comments very, very quickly. G421 says Levine been locked in on threes. SK says no, SK just said there's a better number. What up, Helms? Appreciate you for tapping in. Tasha likes the Bucks on the money line. What up, Ball Talk? AB says I'm with Tasha. Bucks money line. First says Bucks money line. SK says Miami flick the switch, or just Jimmy over his 20.5 points. I think Jimmy is coming off a season high 33 points. He got busy last game. I can see Jimmy having a pretty big game again. Bucks money line for Reem. LJ says Miami first half. Bucks are trash on the road in the first half. Check the numbers. I think I looked into that too. I was on Moneyballer earlier. I don't think I saw that though, LJ. I know that the Heat have been one of the better first half teams in the league, but the Bucks, I thought the Bucks had been pretty good in the first half as well. Let's see what those numbers are. ATS first half, Bucks are 9-7 in the first half. Only 1-2 as a road dog. The Miami Heat are 9-5 in the first half and 3-2 as a home favorite in the first half. So I guess there's some slight trends to back these teams based on the spot. The Heat just in general are a really good first half team. They're 9-5 against the numbers. So I could get there. I could definitely see that. Let's see what else y'all saying in the chat. Bucks for me, 5-star says when. Everybody likes the Bucks. Winter Life says Bucks money line or over 223. Big Bucks, no whammies. Raise your hand if you trust the Bucks with your money. Oh man, LJ says Jimmy loves playing against the Bucks. Let's see if we can put some numbers to that real quick, and we're gonna put it on. We're gonna move on over to the next game. Let's see if I can find some numbers that support Jimmy liking to play against this team. Let's see. Jimmy points head-to-head matchup. 2023 head-to-head. I don't see any. Well, Jimmy hasn't. I guess he just hasn't played them a lot recently. I don't see anything about Jimmy points. Looked like he had 13 points the last time that they played, which was under his 20.5, of course, today. Is it a rebounds and assist number? Looks like that's at 9.5. He only had 8 the last time that they played. Maybe I'm missing something. Dame under his 23, Merrill says. Could Miami slow the game down? Maybe under. That's what I'm thinking, G421. I kind of like the under here. I do like the under. And Merrill says under 223. Justin says he put that Bucks 2.5 in the Discord this morning. He on it. Give him the Bucks, and I kind of think that's the way that I would play it as well. Good morning, Kristen. Hope you have a great day today. How you feel about the under? Yeah, I think it's under, and I think it's Bucks and under don't even make sense though. I feel like if you like Bucks, you like over, even though they have been playing a little bit more defense. We'll see. I want to kind of think about this game. I got all day to think about it. If I end up playing it, I'll put it in the YouTube membership section for everybody that signed up for my plays. I'll post it there if I do end up getting there on this game. Don't want to overthink it, but I like the Bucks today, man. Just haven't played it. It's a difficult game. Let's move over to Timberwolves and the Rockets. Line opened, I think, at 3.5, and total open 220. This total went up to 221. There's still some 221s out there, some 220 and a halves out there, some 220s out there. So shop around, get the best number. For the Rockets, they're coming off 2 days rest. Last time that they played was against the Portland Trailblazers. They lost at home on Saturday night. That was the second leg of a back-to-back. So first of a 2-game road trip for the Rockets, and this is not accurate. I need to change that. That's going to hurt my soul if I keep that like that. So this should be, say, Timberwolves, Rockets versus Timberwolves. Yeah, that's right. So my apologies there. And these need to be flipped. So this is a Timberwolves home spot and Rockets road spot. Yeah, there we go. Because the Timberwolves. Yeah, I'm right? Yeah, Timberwolves at home. All right, so there we go. So we got Rockets and Timberwolves. Very, very, very intriguing game. One that I do want to bet today. Have not bet yet. Let's see what let's go through the notes. So like I said, Rockets, first of a 2-game road trip. Also first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow in Philly. They lost their last game to Portland on Saturday. Houston has actually won 7 of their last 10 games though, and they've covered 7 of their last 10 games. So if you like the Rockets, you probably like them on the money line. If you like the Timberwolves, if you don't like the Rockets, you definitely want to take the Timberwolves on the spread here. For the Timberwolves, they've actually been pretty bad recently. 1 day's rest, first game back home after a 2-game road trip, first of a back-to-back. They got the Sacramento Kings coming into town tomorrow. Jalen Green, as far as injury report, is dealing with an illness. He's been dealing with an illness for quite some time now, but I think he's just been kind of playing through it. So shout out to Jalen Green for playing through the illness. Not sure if he's going to play. On the opposite side, you got Mike Conley listed as questionable with a toe injury. He's missed the last 3 straight games for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And honestly, it really comes down to Mike Conley not really comes down to, but that's a big part in my opinion. I talked about this last week. The Timberwolves, I feel like, are a fade without Mike Conley. They need him to settle in the offense. In my opinion, I think he means a lot to the team. They don't have a true point guard. Dante DiVincenzo is not a true point guard. We know, Anthony Edwards is not a true point guard as good as he is, on the floor and being an elite elite shooting guard. He's not a true point guard. So real quick, I just want to look at the numbers real quick for the Timberwolves. They are plus 1.1. So their point differential, they're winning by average of 2 points per contest. They're outscoring their opponents by 2 points per contest per 100 possessions. With Mike Conley in, they're plus 5.2. So there you go. You got the Mike Conley. He's significant in my opinion, and that is what the numbers are saying. With Mike Conley on the floor, they're plus 5.2. They're scoring 116.5 points per 100 possessions, giving up 111.3. With Mike Conley off the floor, they are minus 0.6. So getting outscored by half a point almost with Mike Conley off the floor. Their offense is not as good. The defense is not as good either. So there you go. There you got it. Minnesota head-to-head wise, they have won 9 of the last 10 meetings. They've typically owned this Rockets team, and they've won 3 straight going back to last season. The Rockets, as good as they play at home, almost remind me a little bit of the Orlando Magic. They are 0-10 straight up, are the Rockets, and 2-8 against the spread as a short road dog of 2 possessions or less. I looked into this morning. I thought the Rockets, and I still kind of feel like the Rockets got a chance to win this game outright. Super short number, but I just gave you guys the numbers. They don't do well as a 2 possession dog or less. 0-10 straight up, 2-8 against the number as a short road dog going back to last season. The Timberwolves, as a short home favorite, 6-6 straight up, 3-9 against the spread. So they also don't cover in this spot as a short home favorite of 2 possessions or less. Also just 2-5 straight up as a home favorite this season. 2-5 against the number as a home favorite this season. So the Timberwolves have not been playing well. This is another game where I kind of lean under. I think a under or a Rockets team total under. I saw the Rockets just struggle with the Portland Trailblazers to be able to score the basketball. I think the Timberwolves coming back home off that, back-to-back losses to the Raptors and the Celtics. I think they lock in on the defensive end here. Maybe even a Rockets team total under. I think the best number available is 109.5. You can get like minus 115 on BetMGM. And that's based on their offense not being as good on the road. And it's based on the Timberwolves, like I said, potentially being locked in this spot after, losing back-to-back road games. Timberwolves last couple games have been under games. They went under against the Celtics. They did hold the Celtics 8.5 points under their team total. They gave up 107 in that spot, and the Raptors got to 110. I don't really want to lay up a lot of points with the Raptors, with the Timberwolves right now. Rockets have been balling, like I said. They are a little bit better than they were last season. Excuse me. Let's see, real quick. On the road, the Rockets are 4-3 straight up, 4-3 against the number, 5-2 to the under. Games only averaging 216 points. I kind of like under. I think under is the right side in this game. They've held 3 straight opponents under their team total. The Pistons, the Bulls, and the Bucks all stayed under their team total. The Rockets have actually stayed under their team total in 2 of those 3 games, so they're winning with defense. I kind of think it's an under spot. In this game. I think that would be my recommendation is under. Maybe even a Rockets team total under. So I don't think both teams are going to be able to score the basketball in this spot, though. Let's see. Tariq says, like the Bucks here, possibly live bet the Bucks plus money. What else y'all seeing in the chat? Let's see. Perry says he likes Miami. We got some Miami love. Jimmy gonna play for the checkmate here. First 5. I don't think Jimmy gets up specifically for Milwaukee. They just played each other so much in the playoffs. It's kind of getting profiled that way. The other thing we got to mention, I didn't mention this earlier. I did think about it though. Damian Lillard was supposed to be traded to Miami last season in the offseason, if we remember back. That's a possible angle. Like, oh, y'all didn't want to trade for me? Y'all didn't think I was good enough? Y'all didn't want to give up Tyler Hero? All right, bet. Watch me go bust Tyler Hero up today. So that's something else to kind of take into consideration is maybe looking at some Dame props. Let's see what else y'all are seeing here. So Young Man Travel says, I like Minnesota, but damn, it's hard to trust them. Gut says Minnesota first half. Okay. Let's see. What up, Top? What up, Lightbearer? Later points. Mark says, been riding Houston, but I'm on the Timberwolves minus 3.5 today. Okay. Rockets plus the points. I can't get behind the Wolves in this spot. Winter Life says. LJ says Knicks have already won the trade. Randall doesn't fit with the Timberwolves. G421 says, Chris, what do you think about the first half total over in this game? I don't know, man. I kind of think this is going to be a pretty slow game in my opinion. Let me see if I can just bring it up on Moneyballer real quick. See if I can find some stuff that would support that. Maybe like some pace numbers. So pace real quick. Rockets are still playing at the fastest pace, which is scary. Timberwolves actually playing at the 6th slowest pace though. So this game is going to be, the bookmakers probably don't know exactly where to set the total. I feel like I've been kind of getting crushed on, well, not getting crushed because I've been playing too much unders, but I've been writing down a lot of my leans. And when I lean under, the game typically flies over. So we haven't seen as much defense, but I kind of feel like this is 2 really good defensive teams, man. I don't know if I would want to get there to the over, even a first half over. First half, let's see. First half, if I'm on Moneyballer looking at first half totals, the Rockets are 11-7 to the under in the first half. The Timberwolves are 9-7 to the first half over. I don't think that's a lot to go off of at all. Timberwolves 3-0 to the over in the first half if they're on the first leg of a back-to-back. Rockets 2-1 to the under if they're in the first half. If they're a road dog, I can't get there. Cannot get there. Merrill says under his 27.5 points, thinks Dylan Brooks locks him up. Sengun over his 19.5 points. Fred VanVleet got fined $50,000 for them comments that he made towards the referee. What up, Frankie? Appreciate you for tapping in. Julius Randle going back to the well, over 20.5 points for Merrill. What up, Midnight Toker? Fred VanVleet is not suspended. He just got fined. He definitely got fined. He had to be fined. Dropping Dime says Rockets team total under 109.5. He likes the look. Yeah, I think I like under. I like Rockets team total under. Don't know if I'm gonna play. Don't know if I'm gonna play the spread though. My opinion, not yours. It's a good point on Dame. Yeah, I think I like that point on Dame too. I'm probably not gonna stay off of player props though. Let's move over. We got two more games to get through real quick. We got the Jazz and the Spurs up next. I don't like this one if I'm being honest with you guys. I didn't like it yesterday. The total has come down though. I will say that. So this opened, I think 3, which is what it is now. The Jazz, this total was 228, is down to 226 now. It looks like it's consistent. Actually down 225.5 on a couple books as well. I see 2.5s out there. I see 3s. I see, just 2.5 and 3s right now. So some money coming in on the Utah Jazz. San Antonio, first road game after 3 straight home games. They won and covered all 3 home games, did the San Antonio Spurs. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder outright as a dog. I think they were getting close to 7.5 to 10 or something like that in that game. The Utah Jazz, they beat them in this spot as well, came back, big time came back. I think they were down 15 points in that game, came back and won. And then they beat the Golden State Warriors as well by double digits as a home dog the other day. They had the rest advantage. Golden State was on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel from New Orleans, of course. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. The Spurs will go back home tomorrow. They got the Lakers coming into town. And then on the Utah Jazz side of things, they actually have a little bit more rest here. They have 2 days. Well, I think both teams got 2 days rest. But I know the Jazz got 2 days rest. This is the second of a 5-game homestand, so they're probably getting comfortable. They did beat the Knicks outright, smoked the Knicks, beat the Knicks outright the other day. I think beat them by 15 points as an 8.5-point dog on Saturday. And this is also first leg of a back-to-back for them. They got the Denver Nuggets coming to town tomorrow as well. I did look at the injury report. Keldon Johnson is listed as probable. He did not play Saturday's game against Golden State. And then Devin Vassell has been rolled out. Jordan Clarkson and Flipikowski on the Utah Jazz side are both out, but they did get Walker Kessler back in that last game against the New York Knicks, and Lauri Markkanen is going to be there as well. San Antonio head-to-head, these teams have already played 3 times already. San Antonio has won 2 of the 3 meetings. They've covered both spreads that they have won. The first game was in Utah. San Antonio crushed them in that spot. If you guys remember, Victor Wembanyama hit, I think, 8 threes in that first game. The second game was in San Antonio. San Antonio lost that game. I think the Jazz beat them by 1 point, 111 to 110, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, they get Utah back. They get some revenge in that last game and win and cover that spot. So these teams have played a ton of times, man. Honestly, I think it's like flipping a coin. The Spurs are the much better team. Let's not get that twisted. But the Jazz, they're going to have spots, especially at the crib, where they play really, really well. I'm not really big into fading the Utah Jazz. I think the Spurs have been playing a lot better recently. I think they are the better team. But for some reason, that altitude will get to you. Ask the Knicks. The Knicks, got smoked in this spot. It could be super easy, and you just take the Spurs minus the 3. They win the game. Victor Wembanyama should have a field day again. Walker Kessler can't guard him. Lauri Markkanen can't guard him. Chris Paul assists. I think he continues to cash every single time that he plays against the Utah Jazz. Let me just put some numbers to that real quick. Just off the top of my head, just thinking about, who's going to be able to have some success in this game. Chris Paul, Stephen Castle, or Stephen Castle, I forgot how you pronounce his name, could have a really big game in this spot. I'm looking at Chris Paul assists, over 9.5. They bumped the number to 9.5? He's played the Utah Jazz 3 times this season. He's had 10 assists twice. He landed on the hook at 9.5 in one spot. He had 22 potential assists in the first game, 20 potential assists in the second game, and only 13 in the third game. So the number has continued to go down every single time. You don't like that if you like his assists, but Chris Paul, 9.5 assists. Utah Jazz defense should be a little bit better, I guess, with Walker Kessler, but I don't think I'm playing this game. I think I got better things to do with my time, I think, than to play this game. I think I'm gonna stay off of this one. Maybe I'll try to find some more on the total a little bit later, but not a game I'm super interested in betting. Let's see if you guys have any thoughts on this one. Wemby over. Radagai says, I could see Wemby going over. I don't even know what his points prop at. I feel like his numbers have been super inflated. So don't let me talk you in or off of Victor Wembanyama. He has been playing well against this team specifically, though. Like, the Jazz are one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. We know that. So Victor has, let's see real quick, Victor against the Jazz specifically this season. his points prop is up to 25.5, and I want to say he went over in the last few games, but he didn't get to 26 in any of them. He had 24 points in the last game, 25 points in the second game, and then he missed one of the games. He missed one of the games that they played, so he's only played them twice. He had 25 and 24. His threes may be the way to look. So both games he's played against them this season, he hit 4 threes and 6 threes in the 2 matchups. And for whatever reason, I don't know what he likes shooting threes against them. He shot 13 the first time and 9 the second time. Only shot 31% and still went over in the first game. Shot 67% in the second game on 9 attempts, hit 6 of them. So yeah, take Victor Wembanyama threes. Not something I'm putting my money on, but couldn't talk you off. Merle says, hey, take Laurie over his 23.5, Castle over his 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. With no Devin Vassell, somebody's going to have to step up. Jose says he likes under. Merle says take under on Victor Wembanyama points, rebounds, and assists at 40.5. Think the numbers are a tad bit too high. Billy says, Chris, thank you for OKC. Good call yesterday. Glad you cashed it. What's up, Rod? He says, what is Chris Discord? You just got to email me, Rod, if you want access to the Discord. Email me at ChrisBeCappinn 2Ps 2 Ns on Gmail, or shoot me a DM on X at ChrisBeCappinn 2Ps 2 Ns, and I'll shoot the link to you. Nick says he's taking the Jazz on the money line. Screw the points. Val says, don't look now. My Spurs going to make the play-in. Winner says, opposite side. I'm laying 3 with the Spurs. And I kind of feel like it's a coin flip type of game. Mark says, what about San Antonio first half? Not something that I looked into because, like I said, this game just doesn't intrigue me as much. Let's get to the last game, but I do want to look real quick just because my guy Mark shouted it out. So first half numbers, the Spurs are 9-8 against the spread in the first half, 1-0 as a road favorite. The Jazz are 9-7 against the spread in the first half, 3-4 against the number as a home dog. 2-0 on the first leg of a back-to-back are the Jazz. And remember, I said both of these teams play on the first leg of a back-to-back tonight. Nothing really stands out there for me outside of the Spurs being a road favorite one time, and they did cover that one game. Well, I'm sorry, they actually didn't cover that one game. They're 1-0 as a road favorite this season in general. So they have covered the only time that they were a road favorite, and it probably was against the Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. I think we bet the Jazz team total under without Lauri Markkanen in game number 1 when they played, and it was an easy winner. I think they gave up like 89 points. The Spurs defense has been really, really good recently. Like, they've been one of the better defensive teams in the NBA. And real quick, just to put some numbers to that, the Spurs are 9-8 to the under. They've went under 3 of their last 4 games. The Warriors game was an under. They held the Warriors 22.5 points under their team total. They did play in this game against the Jazz, they couldn't get any stop. Against the Spurs, they couldn't get it. The Jazz, they couldn't get any stop. They gave up 118. Yeah, so let's see. Total 224. This total opened up higher. That would indicate over. The whole, I forgot they just played. These teams played over the weekend, over last week sometime, on 11/21. So that game went over. It sailed over the total. It actually went over by 20 points. And now the bookmakers open this total up 2 points higher at 226. That indicates that it should be an over spot. But the Spurs have been an under team. 3 of their last 4 games have actually gone under. So I don't know. As a favorite, they probably don't play as much defense. As a dog, they probably play a lot more defense. I bet you if I add that, that's what it'll tell me too. Let's see. As a favorite, the Spurs are, I bet you it's an overtrend. Let's see. Spurs as a favorite. Come on. Guess we won't know because it's taking too long to load. Yeah, I can about bet though that I bet you the Spurs are better as a dog than they are. Helm says he likes the over. Jalen says pass for him. Wemby points plus rebounds. Wemby over points. A lot of people like Wemby. Helm says over. I'm looking at the Spurs team total over. He says I could see that. Helm says if you like the Spurs team total, but don't want to play the full game over, sprinkle on the Spurs money line there. And I agree with that as well. I definitely agree with that. I mean, that makes a ton of sense. Let's move over to the last game that we got on the board, which is the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. So this line opened at 1.5 yesterday. Went all the way up to 4. I think there has been a little bit of buyback now. It's down to 3.5, down to 3. If you got in with the Suns early, I can't blame you. I didn't play the game. If you watch the show, you know I typically don't play Laker games too often. So let's set the table here. This total opened 231.5. It's up to 234, 233.5 on some books. I think maybe first half over. Full game could potentially go under in this spot. So Lakers, 2 days rest, back-to-back home losses. They lost to the Orlando Magic on a Franz Wagner 3-point shot since Anthony Davis can't make free throws. And then they got smoked to the Denver Nuggets. They lost that game 102 to 125. The Lakers have actually failed to cover 4 games in a row. And if you look at it, it's because their defense has been atrocious recently. This is the first leg of a back-to-back for them. The Lakers will play, like I said, in San Antonio tomorrow. So, you know, not the greatest spot for the Lakers here, in my opinion. I want to put some numbers to how bad their defense has been though recently. But let's get into the Phoenix side of things. Super well-rested team. But when they played against the Knicks last week, we talked about them having 5 days of rest in this spot. It's also the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow. 5 straight losses for the Phoenix Suns. They got smoked by the Knicks the last time that they played basketball. They've actually failed to cover 4 straight games for their last 5 and 7 of their last 10. However, they do get Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant back today. They both listed as probable. On the Lakers side, AD is listed as probable. Jackson Hayes, he should return. He's listed as probable after missing the last 2 weeks as well. This will be the 3rd time that these teams have played so far this season. The Lakers won the first game of the season, 123 to 116 in LA. And then you saw Phoenix get their revenge. They beat the Lakers 109 to 105 in Phoenix earlier this season. The last game went under the 229.5. The first game went over the 228. So it's correlated here. I think if you like Lakers, you like over. If you like Suns, you like under. The Suns they were playing some pretty good defense before Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant got hurt. I do think that Phoenix is the right side in this game. Am I laying the points? No. The Lakers have not warranted, in my opinion, anybody putting their hard-earned money on them. Defensively, like I was saying, they are 25th overall in points allowed per 100 possessions, 23rd in opponent effective field goal percentage. They're giving up a ton of offensive rebounds, 3rd most in the NBA, and they got some work to do, man. I don't like the way that they've been playing recently. You look at the last 5 games, all those numbers get worse. They're giving up the 2nd most offensive rebounds. Teams are shooting the 4th highest field goal percentage and scoring the 5th most points against the Lakers. The Lakers opponents are averaging 120.5 points per 100 possessions over the last 5 games. So I don't like that as much. I know the Bucks have been I'm not the Bucks. I know that the Suns have been struggling recently a lot. That's the only way that I would probably look in this game. The Lakers will be motivated coming off 2 straight losses. I do think that, you know, if you like the Lakers, maybe you like them early. I can see Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, you know, potentially struggling to start the game just because it is their first game in quite a long time. The Suns in general may come out a little rusty with 5 days off. So if you like the Lakers, you know, potentially Lakers first half, they will be motivated coming off back-to-back losses. This is group play as well. Remember when I said the last time the Lakers had a group game, I think it was against the Jazz, and they won that game. It's the only game that they haven't covered. The Lakers are 9-0 in group play so far this season. 9-0 in group play going back to last season. They have not lost a group game, a cup game at all. So don't let me talk you off, Lakers. I'm just not putting my hard-earned money on them because I know Phoenix needs a win in the worst possible way as well. So those are my thoughts. I know that I'm probably staying off of this game. So it's just not a game that I really want to bet, if I'm being honest with you guys. But don't let me talk you off either way. I can see it going either way in this game. With the number being 4, I would probably be catching the points with the Lakers, though, thinking that they, especially first game back. I just think that 4 is a tad bit too much, being that it is the first game back in this spot for the Los Angeles, for Phoenix to be laying on the road in this spot. So those will be my thoughts. I did not play the game, though. Let's see what you guys are thinking before we do a quick recap and get up off of here. Suns money line, Anthony Davis over his 11.5 rebounds for Merrill. LJ says take Booker points, rebounds, and assists over. He hates the Lakers. Merrill says Kevin Durant over his 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Katie and Bill game time decision 5-star says. I think when I was looking at the beat reporter, I forgot his last name, but his first name is Dwayne. He covers the Phoenix Suns. He covers them really, really well too. He talked about, both of those guys are going to be in. Roll one up, son says he likes the Lakers plus 3.5. Feed me Suns first half. Helm says I would be on the opposite side. I think the Lakers could cover the first half just because it seems like not that the Suns won't be motivated, but the Lakers are in better form right now. Coming off back-to-back losses, they'll probably be motivated in this spot. Right now, first half spread probably 1.5 both ways. 1.5 both ways. You can get the Lakers plus 1.5. You can get the Suns minus 1.5. Suns plus 3. Tyus Jones over 6.5 assists. That I can see this being a pretty good number. Marquis says he likes the under in this game. Helm says, please don't put money on the Lakers when they're on the road. They have been atrocious on the road. They did get 2 wins on the road against the Spurs and the Pelicans, but they barely won those games on the road. How did the Lakers? They're 3-4 straight up on the road, 2-5 against the number on the road, losing by an average of 6 points per contest on the road. And defensively, they've struggled on the road. They've only held two opponents under their team total on the road in their 7 road games, giving up an average of 118 points per game. So some more analysis there. Justin says, ain't Lakers in the cup game a thing? Yeah, it is, Justin. It is. And that's why I didn't bet against them. I didn't bet against the Lakers in this spot. I do think Phoenix probably wants to win the cup as well. And last year, for people who remember, when the Suns came to LA and it was a cup game, it was some fishy stuff that went on in that game. Suns probably shouldn't have lost that game last season. Y'all probably don't remember what I'm talking about, but I vividly remember the Lakers winning the game. And it was, one of the big games for the Lakers to actually make it to advance, in the cup. So I think I'm gonna sit on the sidelines unless I do a little bit more digging after the game and find something that I absolutely love. G421 says he'll take the Lakers plus 4 and he'll take the Suns team total over. That don't correlate at all, but okay. Don't say, those numbers are worse than I thought. Fun game to watch, and I think I'll be on the sideline watching this one. Let's get into a quick recap, man. I'm being honest, not a lot that I liked on the slate today. I got to do a little bit more digging. I think, if I had to give out a best bet on the show, it would probably be Houston and Minnesota under. The best number you can get right now is 220. Let's see, it's 220. The total's dropping. 220.5 right now is available on ESPN Bet. If I had a best bet for the show, that would be it for today. Like I said, I really like Milwaukee. The trends don't support it. I also like the under 223.5 in that game as well. I should probably add that to the list because I do feel like that's going to be a little bit more of an under spot. Let's add that. Milwaukee, Miami under 223.5 it looked like is available on 222.5 is available on most books, but you can get a 223.5 if you got Bet Rivers, which I know a lot of people don't, unless you're on the East Coast like myself. That's I don't like the slate today, man. I know it's cup games. I didn't place a single bet, but this is the way I'm looking at the games today. 2 unders, and I will be looking at the Bucks. I think that they are the right side. Best of luck to you guys on whatever it is that you do play. Appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Hope you guys make some money today. Resources that I use to handicap the games are here. Spent way too long capping these games today. But really just wanted to kind of talk about with the chat. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. There's some really smart people in the comments of the stream. There's some really smart people in the Discord as well. So shout out to everybody for rocking with me today, man. Hopefully you guys find the show valuable. Best of luck on whatever it is that you do play. Check the resources out on the last graphic that I just showed if you guys are interested. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We got a bunch of games tomorrow because there's no games on Thursday. So a bunch of games tomorrow, same time. I'll catch you guys in the morning, man. Enjoy your Tuesday. Bye.